I spoke to NATO's Secretary-General Anders Fogh Rasmussen, who says the Syrian regime did carry out a chemical weapons attack. I began by asking him why NATO would not be taking part in any military action against Syria, despite his assertion that the use of chemical weapons should not go unanswered.
NATO already plays its part. We have deployed Patriot missiles to Turkey to ensure effective defense of Turkey. NATO is a forum for consultation among allies, and of course we keep the situation in Syria under close review. If individual allies were to respond militarily, I would envisage a short, tailored, measured, limited military operation, and for that you don't need the NATO command and control system.
If Turkey were to ask for further support, though, as an alliance member, your mandate would be to play a role, surely?
Of course, eventually an attack on Turkey would be a game changer, and in that case it would be a NATO question, yes.
If Congress doesn't vote to back US military action, could or would NATO be a last option?
I won't prejudge the outcome of ongoing consultations among allies.
But it is a good question. Can I press you on that, theoretically?
That's a hypothetical question. I don't foresee any further NATO role. We are focused on the defense of Turkey. Having said that, it's my personal view that the horrendous attacks, chemical weapons attacks in Syria necessitate a firm international reply to prevent such chemical attacks from happening again.
Assad has threatened to strike back. What is your assessment of his military capabilities at this point?
Well, it's not the first time we have heard such threats from his side or from other dictators in the world. I can assure you that as far as NATO is concerned, we do have all plans in place to ensure effective protection of our populations.
Let's just talk about these chemical weapons. Are you absolutely sure that Assad knowingly deployed chemical weapons? There is German intelligence today to suggest that it may have been his forces, but without his nod, as it were.
It is a regime responsibility, and it's my firm conviction that the regime in Damascus is responsible for these horrendous chemical weapons attacks.
Well, let's talk about the sort of attack that might happen. Obama has talked about a limited, narrow strike. Is it really possible to keep action within those sort of parameters?
Yes, indeed. And actually, I do believe that a narrow, short, limited, tailored action would be an appropriate response to the horrendous use of chemical weapons. Having said that, I also would like to stress that there is no long-term military solution to the conflict in Syria. Speaking about the long-term perspective, we need a political process leading to a political settlement.
Why did NATO provide support for Libya and isn't prepared to provide any further support for Syrian intervention?
Well, of course, in Libya we had a clear United Nations mandate. We had clear support from countries in the region. There is no call for NATO action in Syria.